Question 6. Imagine being the youngest ambassador ever, being appointed at 27. That's a terrible morning routine. I need to change it. When I was 18, I started praying for my future husband because I wanted to get married at 21. So 2 countries that are on my bucket list for work, I would say Belgium and Germany. I want to visit Cuba. Girl, everybody's just doing it, so you might as well just do it. I would like to have a reality show someday. I think when I have the money that is required. I have about 6 tattoos. Have you ever been tempted to disappear from social media completely? Let me tell you, I'm always tempted. Every day I wake up, I'm tempted to leave social media completely. Some of you have put me on a pedestal that I didn't even ask for. And so sometimes it sort of makes it hard for me to be human. It makes it uncomfortable for me to be human. Once you're my friend for life. Do I even want to do a PhD? I want a certain lifestyle for myself. I'm not there yet. My ideal first date would be taking me to, how was it like giving a speech at the United Nations headquarters? Let me tell you how it was. I want to have power and I want to have influence. And we are here. Finally, our Q&A is right here. Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Olivia Tutu, also known as the SDGs girl, the soft plug girl living in Zambia. And today we're doing a Q&A because you spoke and I listened. If this is your first time on this platform, please do subscribe, like, share, comment, and all that cute stuff that people do on YouTube. And if you have been a consistent follower or you're already subscribed, I just want to say thank you a million times, and you are the real G. Now, getting into today's content, I have about 30 questions that you asked from Facebook, from TikTok, from Instagram, and from my WhatsApp status that I'm going to be running through to better understand me as Olivia, but also just get to know a little bit of me that is not really shown on social media. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so you people are starting off strong. I have the questions are on here. So the first question is, what program did you study in university? This kind of reminds me of the meme that I once saw on Facebook to say, "Ni program boy Olivia but I have a Bachelor of Arts degree in Business Administration with a minor in Economics from the University of Zambia. I'm also currently still in school pursuing my master's degree in Human Rights Governance and Development." So yeah, Business Administration. But I always say what you studied and what you want to do can be completely different, and that's totally fine. The second question is, when are you releasing the book? Oh my goodness. So I have written a book, Authentic, A Life Chosen, Not Given. We are already done. I mentioned this at the time of you watching this. I should have already placed an order, and it's going to take us about 4 to 5 weeks before they come. Also, I'm trying to do a pre-order, so you can also do your pre-orders. You can purchase and then, wait for the book to be out. Number 3 is, did you always see yourself as an author? Honestly, I would say yes. I've always seen myself as an author because once I graduated from high school in 2017, I started reading a lot of books. My favorite author is Francine Rivers. I absolutely love how she writes her novels and how she just includes God in literally everything. So because I read most of her books at 17, I told myself, you know what? I want to write a book someday. And I always say this, if I had the right support and the right tools, I would have written a book at 17 or 18. So writing it at 25 is a little bit of a stretch, but I've always seen myself as an author. Yeah. Question 4 is, how did you know your career path was for you? The thing is, I didn't know, hey? I was just doing a try and error because I got done with varsity and the question was, what next? Was I going to go back home and start applying for jobs, or was I going to apply myself? So then I said, let me apply myself and let me see how it goes. And here we are today. So it wasn't this is where I'm supposed to be. No, it was just like, let's try and see how this goes. Question 5. Yeah. So question 5 is, what made you start your SDGs journey? How did you start? And what's something you can tell me, a young person who wants to explore that journey? So what made me start was lack of representation with young people being at the center of conversations. But also I realized this year there wasn't so many people that were speaking about SDGs in Zambia. So when I then decided to start, I said, okay, I want to use radio, the tool that I have access to raise awareness around the 17 Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations. But also I was in a space where I was in the corporate space. Remember, I used to work for eMark, and I loved my job and it was really beautiful. But one of the things that I wanted for myself was for me to continue creating impact in my community, in people's lives and all of that. And so I wanted to have sort of like a direct way of getting to the people. So then I was like, you know what, if I can't be in the field, I might as well use radio and social media to raise awareness around things that are important to the well-being of humanity. So that is what made me start my journey. And for somebody who's starting out, I'm guessing you're probably below 35 because you're young. I would say it's important for you to understand your why. Define what your why is and run with it. Don't do stuff based off of the fact that somebody else is doing it. Oh, I've seen Olivia doing it, or I've seen Mary do it, or I've seen John do it. Do it because you want to do it and it's setting your heart on fire. So do it because you want to do it and not because other people are doing it. Understand your why. We go to question 6. Question 6. Ooh. Are you single? Every time I'm asked this question, do you know what I do? I drink to it. Just at a good time. Am I single? 100% single, but I am single by choice. I say this in the previous interview that went viral, and I'm going to say it again today. My being single is because I really want to be single. So here's the thing. When I was 18, I started praying for my future husband because I wanted to get married at 21. And then when I was 21 and I wasn't married and at the time I was in a relationship, I wanted to get married so bad that to some extent I sort of started overlooking the red flags that I could see in my partner at the time, up until I came to myself and I said, hold up, do I really want to settle because I wanted to settle at 21, or I'm going to settle because I found the right person? So fast forward to 2024, you all have seen it, especially if you've been following me for a while. I was actively dating. I went on different dates and all of that. But again, I asked myself, am I really going to reduce myself to marriage? I mean, marriage is a beautiful thing, don't get me wrong, but I just didn't want it to be my focus. So then last year, 2025, I told myself, look, I'm going to step back and just do life. Just do life, focus on my goals, my career, the things that I want to achieve for myself in life. And then when I meet the person that is going to match the energy that I'm going to have, then I'm going to settle down. So then I stepped back, and yeah, it's been like that. I haven't regretted. It's absolutely been beautiful. Question 7 is, do you wish to get married and have kids in future? Oh, I should have actually answered this. Yes, actually, I want to get married. I want to have kids. I remember I went to a meeting one time in 2025, and the person that I was meeting there asked me to say, Olivia, what's the end goal with everything you're doing? And I told them to say, well, I want to get married and have kids. And they were like, yeah, but like, what's the end goal? And I'm like, that's the end goal. I'm working so hard now so that once I decide to settle and have kids and be someone's wife, I'm going to be in a space where I have done it all and I know what's on the other side. So I do want to get married someday in future. I do want to have kids, maybe 2 or 3, but max is like 2 unless otherwise, because you just never know what the future holds. So I do want to get married and I do want to have kids. Next question is, at what point did you see an opportunity in your career and said, okay, this is definitely my ride? It was 2024, again, when I just got done with varsity. I asked myself, what next? How do I continue? Because when I was in uni, I used to volunteer with Coparos, and I was speaking into sexual reproductive health for women and girls. So once I got done and then I went into the corporate space, I couldn't volunteer with Coparos anymore. So then I started asking myself, what next? And then I realized to say I was much more passionate about development. Then I decided to get into the development space. And then, so when I was trying to figure out what next, was when I actually saw the gap. It was like, oh, there isn't so many young people that are speaking about sustainable development, that are raising awareness, that are using radio as a tool for, awareness raising and all of that. So I said, okay, let me jump on it and let me see how that goes. So yeah, the next question is, what's one country on your bucket list? The one country that's on my bucket list, actually, I have two countries that are on my bucket list. Can I say two? Yeah, I'm going to say two. So, two countries that are on my bucket list for work, I would say Belgium and Germany. Okay, that's like two countries already. Okay, I'm going to say three. So, for work, I want to go to Belgium and I also want to go to Germany because I have heard so much about Belgium and Germany. And I think that's like one of the hubs where development conversations are had, especially world over. I also want to go to Geneva, Switzerland. Okay, just two. Belgium and Germany. I really want to go to Belgium and Germany. And then just for leisure, I would actually want to go to Cuba. When I was about 16, I heard about Cuba and I said, I want to visit Cuba. And I still kind of do want to visit Cuba even to date. So, yeah. Number 10 is being an SDGs ambassador. Do you think the current policies make the goals attainable by 2030, especially for your particular SDG of interest, seeing that there are several? Somebody said Africa is very good at policy formulation. What we lack is policy implementation. So I would say we do have the necessary policies that could accelerate progress towards attaining Agenda 2030, which is the 17 Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations. However, we lack implementation and we lack the synergy between the international development frameworks and the national frameworks. And I know a lot of countries are trying to infuse international conversations into local conversations and all of that, basically localizing sustainable development. That's a conversation that has been big in different development spaces and even in my own advocacy journey. But with where we are at, attaining the SDGs by 2030 is unlikely. Unless maybe a miracle happens, but I'm not sure. But the good part is 2027 is around the corner and the United Nations is having the 2027 SDG Summit to better understand or to better answer the question, what happens after 2030? So like the Millennium Development Goals, 2015, we had the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. We are going to have a different framework in 2030 that's going to carry the world until we reach gender equality, no poverty and things like that. So let's see how 2027 looks like. And then, yeah. 11 is, did you always know what you wanted to do in life, or were there times when you felt lost and uncertain? How did you navigate the seasons, especially when opportunities seemed limited? So growing up, I was that child who never knew what she wanted to do in life. I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to be a business administrator. I wanted to be so many things. And I always say that I kind of did what I kind of did know what I wanted, but because there wasn't a lot of representation of the thing that I wanted, it then became hard for me to coin it. So I wanted to do what was traditionally acceptable, traditionally known by people. So I ended up saying a lot of things. Oh, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be this. I want to be that. Up until I sat back and I said, wait a minute, do I really want to do this? And then it turns out that I didn't. I actually wanted to be in the development space. I wanted to advocate for human rights. I wanted to speak into sustainable development. But because I didn't see a lot of people doing that when I was growing up, it was kind of hard for me to coin it. So no, I didn't always know, but I just sort of had it in me. And what did I do, or how did I handle uncertainty? The thing is, we're all going through that. One of the things that I always say is, we're all doing life for the first time. And let me tell you something, a secret. No one knows what they're doing. We're just doing it. We're just doing it. There's nobody who is like 100% sure, say, this is what I'm doing. This is where I want to go. This is how life should be. No, we're all just doing it. And then if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You move to the next thing. So I haven't always known what it is I wanted to do, but I always put my best foot forward and do whatever I can in whichever season that I am in. So yeah, let me see. We are at 12, and 12 reads, I would like to know the inspiration behind the tattoos. Do they have a background story? The tattoos that I choose. I have about 6 tattoos, and I'm just gonna show you. I'm not gonna show you, oh my God. I'm just gonna tell you where they are and what they mean. I think I'm gonna show you the ones on my hands. I have the anchor. The anchor is basically Jesus holds me down. So I got it when I was going through like a dark season in my life. I was still in varsity. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to get this because I just wanted. No, let me start in order of how I got them. Yeah. So I got the first one. This one is big. I'll probably like do a video. So it's like a butterfly and an infinity sign and another butterfly, which basically means I believe in metamorphosis. So I'm always speaking about how my life is constantly evolving. My life is never the same. And I just believe in the whole metamorphosis cycle and all of that, the butterfly life cycle. Then I have the word empowered. Reason being is because growing up, I had a lot of questions about life. I wondered whether I belonged. I battled with low self-esteem and a bunch of all of those things. So then I decided to write this word, and just to remind me to say my empowerment comes from within and nobody can take it away from me, and just so I could show up as the better version of myself every single time I was in a space. So that's the reason why I got empowered, because I was going to empower myself to get to the type of life I wanted. And then from this one, I then got a tattoo on my back. I've got a tattoo on my back. It's like Africa, and there's like a sunflower in the middle. And that's because I absolutely love Africa. I adore Africa. And I know that one day Africa is going to rise and it's going to be the powerhouse that it was meant to be from the onset. So I absolutely love Africa. And then I got the anchor when I was going through some season of my life, basically to remind me to say, no matter how life gets, Jesus holds me down. And then from there, I have another tattoo, which is faith, hope, love. But the greatest is love. It's on my right leg. I got it to just remind me to say, in life, I'm going to have the ups and the downs. And also the faith part is to basically always be true to my faith and hold on to my faith, because at the end of the day, when all is said and done, the question is, what would you have done with your faith, right? Which is believing in Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. And then for the hope part, so the hope part is like, that Kamala and Kama, the up and down, up and down. It is basically to remind me to say life always has ups and downs. The minute your life is a straight line and it's constant, then something is wrong. Because even at the hospital, when it's, going up and down, then you're still alive, no matter how critically ill you are. But the minute it goes straight, then that's it, it's over. So it basically reminds me to say, I'm going to have my highs and I'm also going to have my lows, but that's okay, because that's basically part of life. And then love, it's because I genuinely just love people. I love humanity. I'm passionate about making a difference and ensuring that no one is left behind. And I think one of the reasons why I wanted to work with the United Nations, even when I was just starting out in my career, is because of their tagline, which is leave no one behind. Because growing up, I always taught myself to say, we all want to have a sense of belonging. We all want to be loved. We all want to be accepted. And low key, that's exactly what the United Nations is all about. So when I found out, I was like, okay, I do want to work with people. I do want to work with the United Nations, because the love for people has always been there. I recently did a podcast and I was sharing how at age 12, I started thinking of, okay, I want to be a therapist. I want to offer therapy services, because I just knew, even at a very young age, that people were going through stuff and people just needed healing and they needed someone to talk to and they wanted some level of acceptance somewhere, somehow. So yeah, I genuinely love people. And then on my left leg, outside, just like on my ankle, I have an elephant. I have an elephant tattoo. I got this one when I was in Livingstone. So if you haven't been to Zambia, you definitely should come to Zambia, and you should visit Livingstone and see the mosotunya, the smoke that thunders. So the reason why I got an elephant is because one, I absolutely love elephants, baby elephants, by the way. They're like really, really cute. But also because I was in Livingston and I saw so many of them. And my tattoo artist at the time was in Livingston. So I was like, why not? I might as well just get a tattoo. So I ended up getting one. So in total, I have 7 tattoos. If we were to count them individually, I'll probably be like 9, but I just feel like the ones that are in one space are like clustered together. So I just count them as one, and then I move on to like counting the other ones. Do I plan on getting more tattoos in future? At the moment, no, but you just never know how I might be feeling 2 years from now. Yeah, and I got my first tattoo when I was 22 at a feminist festival in Lusaka. One of my close friends and I, shout out to Lusekelo, one of my close friends and I got our tattoos then because we just said, yo, well, you're not gonna be young forever, so you might as well do it. And then we did it, and here we are, a couple of years later. Yeah, which one is, okay, I don't wanna answer this one, but okay, I'm gonna answer it. So you recently found yourself trending for reasons you didn't expect. William Ruto. How did you handle that moment, and what did it teach you about being a public figure? So for me, one thing that I learned from the whole thing is the some people that praise you are the same people that are gonna criticize you. Because I saw the comments, I read the comments, I heard the radio conversations you guys had, I read all the long paragraphs you guys made, the videos that people made. I saw all of that. And for me, it was crazy how I was misunderstood. But it all boils down to the fact that the very people that praise you today will criticize you the next day. And also just being a public figure, sometimes you're even scared of speaking because you just never know what's going to be taken out of context. But overall, it just reminded me to say, yeah, people will always be people. You do something good, they talk. You do something bad, they talk. You get misunderstood here and there and all of that. So, yeah. 14 is saying, what's your morning routine? My morning routine. What do I do when I get up in the morning? When I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is, obviously my alarm is going to wake me up, so I have to turn it off. And then I check my phone, which is a bad habit. Like I really, really want to stop. But then I check my phone, and then from there, I go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, drink some water occasionally, and then get back into bed and try asking myself, what do I have planned for the day? Yeah. And then I get started. That's a terrible morning routine. I need to change it. I think it should make sense to say, no, I wake up, I do my walk, and then I go bath, and I go to... But yeah, I'm just a normal girl, really. Where do you see Olivia Tutu in the next 5 years? Ooh, that's a lovely question. Where do I see myself in the next 5 years? I would say probably holding a diplomatic position in foreign service. As we all know, I absolutely love Zambia and I'd like to serve in the foreign missions. One of the things that I have publicly mentioned is right now, one of my dreams is to serve as Zambia's UN representative, the permanent representative of Zambia to the United Nations. I would absolutely love that because it does 2 things. 1, I serve my country. 2, I get to work with the United Nations closely. And if you know me or you've seen me somewhere, then you obviously know that I absolutely love the United Nations and I want to work with the United Nations. If that doesn't work, I wouldn't mind going to maybe France or Germany or Belgium as Zambia's ambassador. Imagine being the youngest ambassador ever, being appointed at 27. Okay, I'm having too much fun. But yeah, that's why I see myself. I will probably be pursuing my PhD. I already have a PhD topic. I just need to find a school and a supervisor. So I'm probably going to be doing my PhD. Would I be married and have kids? Honestly, in 5 years' time, that's not really part of the plan. But if it does happen, it does happen. Because I was told love finds you when you least expect. So it could find me. Number 16 is, what's your motivation for studying content creation? Are you open to content creation, startup projects about Africa? And then the last part is, I'm curious about how you began your content creation journey. My motivation to start content. So I used to watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians when I was 12, 13, 14, all the way in high school, really. So when I used to watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians, I then wanted to have a reality show of my own. I remember in 2016, I would film myself going to the market, studying and all of that, but I just didn't know how to coin it and put it together as content. So growing up, I used to watch people like shows like Keeping Up with the Kardashians and all of that. And I've always wanted a reality show of my own. And so since I don't have that luxury yet, I told myself to say, I'm going to use what I have to get to where I want. So I would like to have a reality show someday. I think when I have the money that is required. But yeah, so that was the motivation. Am I open to startup projects about Africa? Yes, I'm 100% open. I absolutely love Africa. I love Zambia, and I would like to showcase and document our stories and just tell our stories to the rest of the world. So yeah, that's how I started content creation, was basically just posting. Then I started making it better, and now we are here. 17 is, do you have siblings? If yes, how many? So I do have siblings, yes. Temwanchi.
Oh, you have siblings. Also, one of our siblings, guys, are my brothers. One of them.
Bye. Sorry about that. Okay, do I have siblings? Yes, I do. I have 4 siblings. I have 3 sisters and a brother. An older sister, a sister that's my age, and a younger brother and a younger sister. Yeah. And 18 is, how old are you? I am 26. I was born on the 27th of February 2000. It was a Sunday. So I'm a Sunday-born baby girl. My mom's firstborn. Yeah. Question 19 is, what advice would you give your younger self? Be audacious and be audacious and try out things. Be audacious and try out things. Everybody's doing it for the first time. We're all living through life for the first time. Nobody has been here before. And the thing that you think only other people can do, you too can do it. So be audacious and try out things. And we're all doing life for the first time. So that's the thing that I'll tell my younger self, because I knew what I wanted to do, and I wanted to do so many things, but because I was so scared and it kind of just felt like certain things were not for me, I felt shy to do them, because I was just like, yo, can a girl like me do it? A girl from Matero, a girl who was raised by a single mom doing this, I went no. But now I look back and I'm like, girl, everybody's just doing it. So you might as well just do it. Do the damn thing. That's what I would tell her. But with so much love, of course. 20 says, what is the most memorable country you visited and why? Memorable country and why? I'm having a lot that are coming to mind. I don't even know which one. Memorable country and why? I'm stuck. I think it would have to be New York, because I've been to New York like 3 times now, and I absolutely love it. Every time I go there, there's just so many things to see, so many places to be. The United States, New York. Yeah, so America is probably my favorite country, because I've been there so many times and I now understand the system better. So it's like easy for me to navigate and just like do all the cute stuff. So yeah, I absolutely love it there. How was it like giving a speech at the United Nations headquarters? Let me tell you how it was. Yo, a girl from Zambia, Matero, representing over 37 African countries and saying, look, we approve. What? Look, like Let me tell you, I was standing there and I'm just like, oh my goodness, is this really my life? Like, did I just give a speech at the United Nations in New York and the entire world heard me? Cut the show, we're done. Oh my goodness, it was so beautiful. It was, after I gave that speech, I went to the bathroom and I cried a little bit. Because what do you mean this is my life? In 2023, I said I would like to work with or for the United Nations. In 2025, I am giving a speech at the United Nations. Pinch me, please. Even you, this is the type of life you want. I was so happy. Oh my God. I cried. I remember telling my mom and showing her and just saying, wow, God is beautiful. I'll forever hold on to that. That's like the highlight, the last 2 years of my career. Yo, it's beautiful. I can't wait to go to Geneva. Yeah. How did you and Kasuba meet? So for those of you who do not know, Kasuba is my best friend currently. I know if she sees this, she's going to kill me. Kasuba is my best friend. She and I have been friends since 2023. So how we met was I was in university, she was in university as well, and we were supposed to share a room. Initially, we didn't like each other, and we didn't even think we were going to be friends because she had her friends, I had my friends. And then fast forward, we found out that we had similar tastes in almost everything: clothes, shoes, hair, and all of that. And we just have like similar lives. Like, you know, if you know my story, then you obviously know half of Kasuba's story because it's somewhat similar to how I grew up and things that I've experienced and all of that. So then we connected, and we intentionally asked each other, do you want to be my friend? And yeah, after that, it's just been like bliss and supporting each other, being there for each other, and constantly looking out for each other. So that's how we met. We met because we were supposed to share a room, of which we shared a room for the first semester of the year. And then second semester, she moved out, I remained, but we continued talking, and here we are now, 2026. Are you more of a planner or spontaneous person? Dude, I'm everything. Depends on what I'm doing. For my book, I've been planning, but also writing it was so spontaneous. I just woke up one day and said, my word for 2025 is bold. I'm going to do something bold. I'm going to write a book. And then I started writing it. But then publishing it, we've been planning and planning and planning. Honestly, I would say I'm a spontaneous person. When I plan, it really takes a lot before I execute. And when I just do, I do it. So I like being spontaneous and just do it. But when it comes to other things, I like planning. So I'll say a little bit of both. A planner and a spontaneous person too. What's one fashion item you can't live without? Definitely a necklace. I literally have a necklace on. I don't know if you guys can see. I literally have a necklace on even when people can't see. I don't know, my neck just feels empty. Also because I think growing up, somebody said, oh, you have a long neck. And I was like, yo, a long neck needs to be put, it needs to be accessorized. So yeah, I can't move without a necklace. I can move without earrings. I can move without rings. I can move without a wristwatch. But the minute I realize that I'm not wearing a necklace, I just feel like something is off. Like it's off. So yeah, I love necklaces. Have you ever been tempted to disappear from social media completely? Let me tell you, I'm always tempted. Every day I wake up, I'm tempted to leave social media completely because I'm just like, what am I doing? But I do know for a fact that I'm going to have a social media presence. But once I get the money that I want, I'm leaving social media. I'm going to have people manage my socials, but I won't be actively involved as I currently am. So I'm definitely leaving social media. And yes, every day I wake up, I'm just like, I want to disappear because I want to start afresh. One of my favorite things to do whenever I travel out is just be myself, because I feel like when you are in a new country, no one knows you and nobody cares. So you could literally be anyone or anything. And I think I did this when I was in Ghana because I was just like, yo, nobody knows me. I'm going to do whatever I want. Oh, and I had the best time of my life. So yeah, I will disappear. 26 is what's something the internet got completely wrong about you and you are not correcting? The whole Ruto situation. Because if you listen to the podcast, it explicitly communicates what I was trying to say. And also, if you know me, then you know. But the fact that people think the only qualification for dating me is knowing Kenya's president is a bit shallow. Now, some do get the joke, and we are commenting, but others are writing long paragraphs, saying all the hurtful stuff, mean stuff, and I'm just like, but is that really necessary though? So I'm not correcting that. You can think whatever you want to think. I don't care. Yeah. 27 is, do you ever feel pressure to always have it together because of the work you do? I do feel the pressure, and but also thankfully I have a community of people that support me, that believe me, that believe in me, that pray for me, and they stand with me in the gap. But I do know to say every day, every single time I step out of the house, every single time I show up on social media, no matter how angry I am, no matter how annoyed I am by some of yours actions, I have to keep it reserved and just keep it to myself and keep the cool and keep composed and put it all together. So sometimes it does get overwhelming because of the work and the popularity and the influence that I now have. Sometimes it's almost impossible for me to just be a girl, because I think the internet sometimes forgets to say she's 26 years old. She's 26 years old. She's figuring it out, and she's just getting started in her career. Some of you have put me on a pedestal that I didn't even ask for. And so sometimes it sort of makes it hard for me to be human. It makes it uncomfortable for me to be human because I'm always looking out. Am I doing the right thing? Should I? Would I? How would these? But then I remind myself to say, you're going to be 26 once in this life, and you're not going to be young forever. So you might as well just do the damn thing. So the pressure is there. The pressure is there. 28 is, we have 2 more to go and then we're done. 28 is, how has it been choosing friends as Olivia Tutu? Because obviously you have so many people wanting to be your friend. I do have a lot of people that would come and say, can we be friends, yada, yada. And then there's those that would just come and just try and be friends, like they're doing kid stuff for you and they want to do dates with you, but it's very important for you to have discernment, because there's certain people you just say, this one, their spirit and my spirit do not align, because I too have tried to be friends with certain people and I'm just like, this, I am forcing it. So it's important for you to have discernment as a young woman, especially in Lusaka, because there's so much that's going on around the world, around the country, around the city. So you want to be in a space where whoever's going to be your friend is somebody who's going to hold you down in the good days and the bad days. And I think right now I have a very good tribe of friends, young people my age, that are holding me down. So it really takes a lot before someone can get into my space and be considered a friend. And also because I am Olivia Tutu, it sort of becomes a bit hard. Because here's the thing, if you're my friend or you're in my circle, you will know everything about me. Like, I'm a loud mouth, I talk a lot, I yap a lot, I don't know how to keep secrets that are involving me. Like, I'm the type who's gonna pick up my phone and call my friends and tell them everything that happened without leaving out anything. So I want a friend who can keep secret, who's gonna hold me down, who I know to say, even if I stopped being friends with you today, you are not gonna go out and say, story time, or like, we don't do that here. So yeah, it really takes a lot. But once you're my friend, once you're my friend for life, no matter how it gets. And then question 29 is, how are you managing school and work? Girl, I'm not even managing. No, I am managing. I'm not balancing, but I am managing. So one of the things that I have learned from Reverend Sani Zulu, is that there's no such thing as balance. So you do what you can do when you are required to do it at work. And then when you're required to shift your attention to school, you do the same thing. give it 110, give it 110. So sometimes it does get overwhelming, sometimes it does get stressful, and with school you get to question your intelligence, you get to question if what you're doing is right, especially when you're doing a master's degree, because now I'm thinking, do I even want to do a PhD if a master's degree is making me feel this way? But I absolutely love the pressure because it's giving me purpose and it's pushing me a step closer to the type of life that I want for myself. So I'm balancing, but I also do get overwhelmed. Right now, I would say I don't even have a social life because I'm constantly having to work. I'm constantly have to, due dates, assignments, coursework, and all of that. So it's just a lot. But I'm getting a hang of it. Graduation is around the corner. So, we're taking it all in one step at a time. And the last one is, what drives you? Like, what makes you wake up every morning? I want a certain lifestyle for myself. I'm not there yet. I want a certain lifestyle for myself. I'm going to give a practical example. I had to get an Yango today to come to EMARC to record a Q&A session for my YouTube, right? Because I don't think my house has the aesthetics that I need just yet. But that's not going to stop me. I'm going to use whatever is around me to get to where I want. So there's a certain lifestyle that I want for myself. There's a certain lifestyle that I want to give my mom. There's a certain lifestyle I want to give my siblings. There's a certain lifestyle I want to leave. So every single day I wake up, I'm reminded to say we are not there yet. But also I want to be part of the 1% in the world that are enjoying life. One, because of selfish reasons, obviously. I want to have a good life because I'm a soft blood girl. Soft blood girls need to be on vacations at least 4 or 5 times a year. But also because I believe with the type of work that I'm doing, it requires me to have the resources, it requires me to have the influence, and it requires me to have the power that is needed because I want to be able to make decisions. I want to be able to finance budgets that come my way. I don't want to sit and wait for a development partner to approve of a budget. If I think this project makes sense and it's going to benefit our people in Zambia and our people in Africa, I want to be able to have the luxury to do it. So that's one of the reasons why I wake up every morning. That's my motivation. And I have seen poverty. I have experienced it. And I don't want it. Like, I hate poverty, guys. No. I'm going to study. I'm going to write my assignment. I'm going to get on a cab and come to record because there's a certain lifestyle that I want for myself. And I think when I was growing up, I wanted all of these things that I'm doing now. But because I kind of felt like it belonged to a select few, it was a bit hard for me to step into it because I thought, that just wasn't for me. But now, whatever comes, anything that comes into my head, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'm going to do it because I just want to do it. So, yeah. Anywho, that's all I had for you today. Also, let me answer a few questions that you did not ask. What's my favorite color? So, my favorite color is, how do I ask a question and not answer it? That's so crazy, right? What's my favorite color? I like browns and I love shades of nudes. And I'm now getting into pink. Like, I absolutely love pink. What is my favorite food? I love potatoes because I just feel like you can do anything with potatoes. I also love pork. Pork is my favorite. And I also love lumanda. Ooh, it tastes so good. What's my ideal date? First date? My ideal first date would be taking me to a fancy restaurant, but also buying me a dress, getting me flowers, and saying, and sending a note saying, I'm gonna pick you up at 7 p.m. and then you can pick me up at 7 p.m. Ooh, I would love that. I would love that. What else? What else do I want you guys to know? I absolutely love my family. I love my mom. I don't see them as often as I would want to, but I'm hoping that's going to change soon. And one of the things that I've learned so far in life is sometimes you have to leave your comfort, actually not sometimes, all the time. You have to leave your comfort zone for you to start building the type of life you want. My book, Authentic, A Life Chosen, Not Given, explicitly communicates how I had to be the disobedient child, how I had to move away from family and also say bye to some friendships just so I could build the type of life that I want. I had to pick up different habits and all of that just so I could build. And one of the things that have changed my life is networking. Oh, I cannot overemphasize the power that networks carry, especially if your networks are just not people in your contact list or people you've taken pictures with. If your network is really people that can provide solutions for the problems that you're going through or create opportunities for you, then you are blessed. I have been fortunate enough to have people that stand by me every single time, my ride or dies. Like, these are people that will hold me down. I have friends, I have colleagues, I have mentors, I have just different people, family, believing in me so much. So, but also it was built over time. And that's something that, yeah, that's something that holds me down. I absolutely love that for myself. And that's one of the reasons why I've been saying, the last couple of years have been a bit crazy because I've had to work, obviously, but also God has been gracious enough to just open doors for me. Like, people just want to do stuff for me. People want to teach me. People want to connect me just because they believe there's something in me. And I love that. I love that people believe me and in my abilities, sometimes more than I believe in me. It's so beautiful. Yeah. And also, a side note, something that I wrote in my book is I want to be rich. I want to have power and I want to have influence. Mostly because those are very essential to the type of work that I do. Like I said earlier, I want to be able to decide budgets. I want to be able to implement projects without waiting for a development partner to say yes, and let's tweak it a little bit and all of that. So, yeah. And then the last thing is I'm not easily influenced. If I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. Nothing is going to stop me. And I think, low-key, that's one of the reasons why maybe, maybe that's one of the reasons why employment failed a little bit, because I like to do things as and when and how I want to do them. But also I'm learning to say, to be a great leader, you have to be a great follower. So there's certain people that I follow religiously so that even when I'm leading others, like I'm learning and growing and things like that. Yeah, so that's pretty much me. In a nutshell, if you want me to do a part 2, do let me know in the comment section down below, and also do send through your questions, comments, and all of that. But thank you so much for watching up until the end. This has been Olivia Tutu, your soft blood girl. I love you guys, but God loves you more. And this was my intro for my podcast when I was just starting out. I used to say, I don't want to be known for what I'm against. I want to be known for what I'm for, and I am for people, regardless of who you are. I love you, but God loves you more. I will see you in the next one. Do subscribe, like, share, comment, and yeah, all that cute stuff. This has been Olivia Tutu.